friends, my name is Cassie. Welcome to 2017. This is the first video I filmed this year. I know my word of the year video went up on the first day of the year, which I'll link below so you can check out. This is the first video I filmed, so I'm really excited. I have a ton of videos coming this year. The other day I sat down and made a list of like 18 videos that I want to make this year. There's a ton of awesome content coming that I really think will help you guys to live your best life. Hopefully this video will start that trend. The topic of this video is why sadness is okay or why it isn't bad, and sometimes why it's even good. The contents of this video is primarily based on this book called No Mud, No Lotus. I talked about it in my more inspirational books video. It's just really great. I highly recommend that you read it. I'm going to talk about some of the things that are in this book, but this book just has way more to offer you than just what I'm going to say in the next couple of minutes. Definitely check this book out. I'll have a link down below if you want to go purchase it. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. The first reason that sadness is a good thing is that sadness and happiness have to coexist. You can't have one without the other, which means that if you want to inevitably be happy in your life, you also need to have sadness in your life. Having sad moments helps the happy moments seem more happy in comparison. If we didn't have any sad moments and we were only happy all the time, we wouldn't have anything to compare our happiness to. So we wouldn't be able to say, hey, I feel great today, even though I felt sucky yesterday. We'd only be able to say, feel good today, felt good yesterday. It's all the same. Wiley. No, you can't come up here. Go, sir. I need to get my cat out of my room. I'm sad because it took me like 3 minutes to arrange my camera and my body in the perfect spot. I'll be right back. What I was saying is that if we had no sad moments to compare our happy moments to, all the happy moments would probably seem pretty dull after a while, even though now they feel really happy because we have sadness. The book itself talks a lot more about this, and it's called No Mud, No Lotus, as in you can't have the lotus flower without the mud or the sadness that surrounds it. And mud doesn't smell very good, but you can grow these beautiful, yummy smelling, gorgeous, delicate lotus flowers from the gross mud. That's kind of how sadness and happiness work. Number 2 is that sadness draws attention to something that we might need to change in our lives. For this, I'm specifically thinking about sort of physical things in our lives, like friendships, relationships, maybe a job that you have. Just noticing the things in your life that constantly bring you sadness. And yeah, maybe at first you really loved that person, or you were really good friends with them, or you felt really excited about that job, but if it's now something that you find constantly is only bringing you sadness, that's drawing attention to something that you might need to change about your life. And believe me, it's easier said than done, and it's going to be very difficult if it's something that is deeply rooted into your life, but sometimes big changes like that help us reveal things about ourselves that we never would have found otherwise and bring us more happiness in the long run. Number 3, sadness is not only a call for us to change things about our lives, but to pay attention to ourselves and to take care of ourselves. If we notice that we're constantly feeling sad, we need to tune into ourselves and figure out what we can do to make ourselves feel better. One example that the book gives that I really like is that when we have sore muscles, most of us don't keep running and keep pushing through it because we know we're gonna tear a muscle that way, or something worse. But when we have emotional distress or tension, we often push through it, we wipe it away by eating, watching media, somehow distracting ourselves and taking it in instead of looking at it, addressing the problem like we would if we had a physical ailment. I really like that idea because it takes our emotions more into our own hands. It just reminds me that emotions are more and less complicated than we think they are. Of course, they're sometimes really confusing to figure out, but there are also easy things we can do to address them, like take a couple calming breaths or journal to get our thoughts out, talk to a friend, different things like that that we can specifically do to address how we're feeling instead of just pushing it away by consumption, whether that means media, food, whatever. Number 4, sadness makes us more empathetic to others. When we go through something terrible, say a death in the family, a breakup, whatever it may be, later on, if we have someone close in our lives who experiences the same thing, we'll be able to be more empathetic towards them and give them some emotional support that maybe would have been helpful for us when we were going through it, because now we have a better understanding of it. And number 5 is kind of like that, but a little bit different. Managing our sadness helps us teach others to do the same. Going back to that previous example, if we've had a death in the family or gone through a breakup, the next time we have a friend or someone close to us who goes through a similar thing, we will be able to help them so much better than if we've never experienced it. We'll know what helped us, we'll know what didn't help us, and of course everybody is different in the way they need to manage sadness, but hopefully we'll be able to teach others and give them the love that they deserve and help them figure out how best to support themselves emotionally, because in the end, you're the only one who can do it for yourself, and that's such a scary thing, but it's also an amazing thing that you have the power to control your emotions. That means that nobody else can make you feel anything. Everybody else around you will do what they will, but in the end, they don't have the power to make you feel happy. They don't have the power to make you feel sad. They might do things that you can choose to feel happy about or feel sad about, but our emotions and our view on the world are all about how we choose to see it. I know that's a little bit easier to say than it is to view in the world, but with practice, we can all be just Zen orbs of light and love and manifestation. Those are my 5 main points of why sadness is not a bad thing. Please read this book. It's way more detailed than I can ever be, and it's just genius. I am on my 2nd read through right now. I'm about a quarter of the way through it, and I've lent it to a couple friends who really, really liked it too. If you read this book, or if you have read it, definitely let me know what you think or what you thought. If you have any questions, definitely let me know down below, or if there's any video that you are specifically wanting me to do for you. This lifestyle channel this year, I really want to just be about making content that will help people, whether that means making things like this that I think is information that's helpful for people to know, or, you know, other things like that. I just want to make content that will inspire and help you guys. Let me know what I can do to do that better. With that, I think that is all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye!